Okay, this side of the layout is very much unfinished. You'll see the angle iron over here that needs to be finished with track. You see the pressure treated wood, that's what I would put the styrofoam stones against. I glue them onto the wood. And there's the bridge, and that is the longer bridge. You see I still need to do the abutment there, which will be probably the foam with the stone on it. And back you'll see that span of bridge in the back. That there's going to hopefully be a curved stone viaduct. It'll be a double track, and that's probably a project for next year. I think I'll just kind of walk around here a little bit. There's another train coming. I'm sure the camera's going to shake a little as I'm walking. The layout is basically made up of individual loops. Some are, double side-by-side loops. But then they are all interconnected together. So far I don't have quite all of them connected, but what trains you see running, they are connected and they can go from one track onto the other track. I just like the idea of being able to put them on separate tracks and let them run by themselves, or to be able to go ahead and run a train wherever I actually want to run a train at. I think I have, I believe, 4 switches done at this point. I'm going to need about 24 switches, I think, total when I'm all finished. Here you'll see 2 little spots that need some type of a bridge right there, just some smaller bridges. I may just go with some simple trestle, I'm not really sure. That right there is probably my best pulling engine. I think the the Dash 9s, they are really nice. The SD45s are nice too. This bridge that you see right here was, I think, like my 3rd or 4th, I guess actually the 4th bridge I built, the green one here. But I didn't actually install it till this year. I had a lot of rock to carry in, and that was just a nice easy path to get through, so I didn't install it till this year. The black bridge you see in the back there, that was probably my 3rd bridge. Probably the most intricate and the most time-consuming one to build, I would say. So far my layout has no buildings at all on it, which, oh, hopefully will change shortly. I do have, of course, a lot of buildings I want to add. It really adds a lot to the train layout when you do it. At some point up just above that track, kind of up in there, there will be another track going around, just kind of like a narrow gauge type track. I'm not exactly sure how much track I have down at this point. I'm going to measure it at some point, but I think it's around 700 feet right now. And I figure at least probably another 600 to get all the loops done. And then I'll go back and start filling in with some of these smaller lines with the narrow gauge type track, or type trains, I should say. I was talking about buildings, and over across here I'm going to have, kind of right up off from that stone embankment there, or abutment, I'm going to have probably a freight depot. I think I'd like to have it so it's kind of hanging over the side. And then as we look across, up on the side of the hill there, I'll probably put in quite a few more buildings and maybe some stone retaining walls with a road kind of snaking back and forth up the hill. The little black buildings you see right now, I'm using the slow motion switch controls like what they would use inside and under the mounts and under the table. These I'm using them outside, and then I'm mounting them above ground, and it seems to be working out pretty good. They have plenty of power to move the points, and with putting a building over it, they actually seem to hold up all right weatherproof wise. If left exposed, of course, they would not. My switches that I'm building, I'm definitely not building maybe what you would call your conventional switches. And we'll walk over here. Here you'll see one of the controls that I have to get a building on and just have a piece of plastic over it right now. The switches are being made from the plastic wood decking. I ripped the decking in half. It's about a 6-inch wide board, 5.5-inch wide. And then I actually, for the ties, I actually cut dados so the ties are not individual. They're actually, well, it looks like 5 or 6 wide right there. I wanted something that's going to hold up well, and I'm hoping this is going to hold up well. The paint has kind of come off a little on this one. Instead of actually using spikes and doing individual spikes, I'm screwing them down, which, you know, when you get up close, the screws definitely show up, but when it's painted and when you're standing back, you really do not even see them. It makes kind of a quick way to build a turnout, but yet it's a pretty good turnout that should hold up over time, I'm hoping anyways. I'm using track powered for my layout, so everything is actually stainless steel track. It is a little more difficult when you're going to be cutting and bending for your switches. The frogs are soldered together. You can solder stainless, so you just need the actual acid type flux to solder stainless.